How's it going, everybody? Welcome into today's episode of Armchair Analysis. And today, it's going to be a pretty quick episode. I don't really have a whole lot of news and stuff. And I kind of talked about it. I want to do some different types of content during the non-playing season, as we call it, because I mean there is no off season. Let's not just do the thing that some other people do and say, well, they're we don't like to say the word. No, I mean there's no off season. You got recruiting, you got spring, you got more recruiting, conditioning, and then you get obviously the playing season, the time where all the talking's done on the field. But then you get into recruiting season some more. There's never really an off season around college football. But in the non-playing season, as spring and summer time frame, you get a little low on content ideas, and this topic has been really surfaced for 3 years now. College football playoff expansion. It's the biggest storyline around college football right now, and um, outside of the portal, outside of the tampering allegations and stuff like that, the college football playoff expansion seems to be kind of the most pressing issue, supposedly, around the sport, and it comes from a lot of differing ideas, right? The Big Ten, SEC want their specific amount of bids into the playoff when they expand it. Um, how will the G6 be included? How will things ultimately fare out as time goes on? And I think a way to really kind of look into this is I decided I wanted to go through and kind of just look at the current system versus the 16 team format versus the 24 team format. Those are the three formats that have been seemingly gaining the most traction, and kind of understand the pros and cons to all of them. I think that is kind of the route to go. So it's going to be a shorter episode, I think, probably 10, 15 minutes. But I just want to talk about the things that feel the most pressing with every single idea and feel like they are the best for it, and potentially the cons to the situation. So we look at the 12-team format, and to be honest, I really like the 12-team format. I'm very big on the best of the best still get in, and it becomes kind of a real fight between the best teams in college football. I think that at 12 teams, you might get a very good 9-3 team in there. You might. But for the most part, you're going to see 10-2 or better in the 12-team format for pretty much the majority. Now, the only thing that won't go 10-3 or better, or 10-2 or better all the time, will be the G6 groups, just because of all the turnover and all the parity that we're going to start seeing through the group of six ranks. But even then, I still believe we're going to see a 10, 11, 12 game winner in the group of six, as well as that champion that comes out and makes the playoff. The 12-team format's great because you get the top four still get their buys. They still get the reward of being one of the four best teams in college football, judged by the committee, of course, through the regular season. The 12-team format just works because, again, it's the best of the best getting their opportunity to go after a national championship. One thing I wish would happen, and I would say this for all of them, is we need a more proper ranking system that isn't based off of people's opinions. It needs to be solely based off of a formula that's put together. And I have been a very big on the idea that it needs to be the BCS format. You bring back the BCS computers, the top 12 through 20, or top 25 was always really solidly computed. And while it favored the blowout wins, it favored the teams that won the eye test a little bit more. What it did was it took the human element out of rankings, and it made it based off of actual numbers, based off of actual facts that happen on the field, and not just people's, again, opinions. When opinions get involved, then you start getting into a lot more debates about who's the best, who's not the best. When all you have to do is put in a simple formula on this computer in the BCS rankings, and there you go. It's perfect. You don't have to worry about somebody feeling like there's a homer take. You don't have to feel like any homerish ideas are out there. It is then the best of the best based off the criteria put in place. And I feel like that right there would be the perfect way to get the college football playoff rankings put together. Will they do that? No, because too many people seem to make too much money off of the fact that they get to be on the committee and get to work some extra hours and do all this stuff. To me, I don't like it at all. I think that when you start getting the committee involved, you have commissioner or CFP chairman, the commissioner or the head chairman, always related or affiliated with a school or a conference or anything like that, which then starts to try to boost that conference. You feel like when you have a majority that are from one conference or the other or anything like that, it feels like the bias kicks in. When in reality, again, if you just put the computers at it, it all comes together nice. You don't see the bias. You don't see the reporter bias, the athletic director bias. You don't see any of that come into play. I feel like if we're going to continue this playoff format, it needs to come with really just taking opinions completely out of it, completely gone. No further questions about whether or not there are any biases within the committee. That would be my first start. But you look at this 12-team playoff. I've said it very, very clear, and I think that personally, I'm pretty okay with the 12-team playoff as it is. I don't have any problems other than the way the rankings are determined. That's it. When you look at 16, the case comes with 0 bye weeks. Therefore, nobody's going to be more well rested. Nobody's going to have like an uneven playing field, a chance to prepare an extra week for something. Everybody gets to go out, and if you're the best, you're going to win 4 games and get it done. For me, 16 is just not the number. I feel like there needs to be reward for being one of the best teams in college football, and I think that top 4 bye or that top 8 bye, should it be the 2014 playoff, would be the way that you go about it. The way I would rank, or the way I would put together the top 16 or the 16-team playoff, top 2 in each Power 4 conference, top 2 group of 6 champions, putting us with 8. And then you putting us with 10. And then you give us the 6 best that are not in either of those criteria, including Notre Dame, of course, being a part of that. The rankings don't have to matter in any way. The rankings can be however they're ranked based on the formula. And you move on. I think the 16-team playoff could work, but I don't like it. I think that I like more seeing teams get rewarded for having a good season. No buys doesn't reward a good season. It just means everybody goes out, plays, and gets it done. Maybe a little more fair on the back end for the lower teams, but to be honest, if you want fair, you should have been better. When you look at 24, to me, it puts more meaningful college football games through the month of December into January. And that's where 24 to me is really intriguing, because obviously bowl season is taking a very big step backwards. The bowl games really don't mean much unless they have some sort of intrigue to a trophy and or a meaningful rivalry. So in saying that, the Pop-Tarts Bowl has become kind of a staple around college football. The Pop-Tarts Bowl is one that would stay with the 2014 playoff, right? That would be kind of the best of the rest goes into that game, and that's what you get. You put some of these teams into, you pick 5 or 6 different bowl games to have during the midweek, and that'll be it. However, if you go to 24, I think that takes away bowl season. And if you go to 24, it means you play the regular season, you play conference championships if you decide to keep them, and then you go to bowl games. For that 24, it would be, the way I would put it together, is the top 4 in each Power 4 conference. So 16 teams from the Power 4. All group of 6 champions, which would put us at 22. And then you'd add 2 extra teams. Notre Dame would be one of them. So basically 1 extra team, assuming Notre Dame is a 9 to 10 win team every year. 1 extra team gets to come in based on rankings again. But I just feel like I feel like that would be the way I would do it. I feel like that would be the most even or the most reasonable way to do it, because we talk about the ACC not being great or the Big 12 not being up to par with the SEC or Big 10. But Miami just went to the national championship. We've had the ACC win national championships more recently prior to to Michigan's national championship, which then kicked off this 3-year stretch. ACC with Clemson won more national championships. Florida State won a national championship. before the Big Ten had another one. Well, I guess that's not true with Ohio State, but the ACC has more than the Big Ten. The Big 12 has been in the conversation, especially in the Oklahoma Texas time, especially Oklahoma's time in the 2015 through 2019 range, where they were there. I think that you want it to be even in the Power Four, and then you kind of ramp everybody else out of there, and then again rank it based off of BCS or a computer poll, where it's based off of specific criteria to meet. I think if you can do that, you put together a really good playoff no matter how you mix it up, whether you put together 12, 16, 24, 32. I feel like you can do it the right way with any of those options. Now, I think 32 is too much. I think anything over 24 is too much. To be honest, I think anything over 12 is too much. But if we're going to go up, 24 I think is the right number. If we're going to move to anything, we go to 24. We continue to have the bye weeks or the bye rounds for teams to get, into the second round, I suppose, or third round, even if we want to do double buys for the best teams. But I think 24 would be the number we go to. Now, there's so many talks, and it's all stalling. It feels like there's really no right way to go about it, because it feels like nobody's going to agree until they find something that matches and fits the narrative for their conference. I don't particularly agree with that. Now, obviously, in the world of college football, the commissioners are essentially politicians anymore, and even more so the NCAA commissioner or president, Charlie Baker, a former politician. It feels like you have to do the political game to try to get what you want, and that's very frustrating. It's become very frustrating watching these playoff talks continue to, they build up and then they fall apart, then they build up again, then they fall apart again, because nobody can agree on the same things. I feel like, again, I talked about it a while back in terms of the problems plaguing college football. I talked about it. That was the second video we did back here. If you're new around here, go check that out. You'll get to understand what I value most around college football. This is one of those things. The NCAA taking control, taking charge, and saying, hey, look, I don't really care what you want. This is what we're going to do. And if you don't like it, go ahead and try to do your own thing. I guarantee it doesn't turn out with the same ratings. You know how I know that it won't? Because the NCAA tournament is better than the NIT tournament, and it's also better than the what was it? The Crown, the college basketball Crown tournament that they did on Fox. How many people watched it other than people who were fans of the teams involved? The NCAA, that brand carries so much weight that they could do the NCAA, the college football playoff, and nobody would not tune into it, because it would be the true national champion. I feel like there's no reason for the NCAA to not just sit here and say, hey, look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do 24. This is how we're going to rank it. And this is how your teams are going to get in. If you're top 4 in your conference, you do it. The NCAA has to, again, take back some form of control. No other league, no other sport does the population control what happens, other than the fact that there's a majority vote. And the majority votes can happen between the conference commissioners, between the athletic directors, all that stuff, to determine what the conference is going to do. But at the end of the day, you have to find something that agrees. And when you have so many, you have 138 schools now in Division I FBS college football. Thank you to joining Sacramento State and North Dakota State. You have to find a way to get 138 schools to agree. I hate to tell you, but in the NFL, they can't even get 32 teams to agree. So when you've got that to contend with, at some point you have to make a decision. It doesn't have to be a dictator-like move, but it's got to be a move that says, hey, look, we are in charge here. We do have the control over this, and this is what we found the best. This is what's getting the most agreement. So if we want to make a move, this is the option, or you come up with something better. And to this point, nobody's come up with something better. And to be honest, I don't think anybody's come up with something better than what I've put in front of you. So I propose, once again, 12 teams. Leave it as is, change the ranking system. 16 teams, change the ranking system. Top 2 in each Power 4 conference, no more conference championships. Top 2 group of 6 champions, 6 wild cards. Plus, with a Notre Dame involved in those 6. For 24 teams, new ranking system, computer ranking system. Top 4 in each Power 4 conference. All G6 champions. Notre Dame, if they fall into the criteria of top 24, and another wild card team, whoever's the highest ranked remaining. Let me know what you guys think. I know it's probably not going to be agreed upon because guess what? If everybody ever agrees on something, the world will be a better place. But for right now, nobody's going to agree. Not everybody's going to. But I hope that there's at least some form of agreement that going in this direction is at least a start. If we have to have expansion around college sports for whatever reason, let's make it make sense. Let's stop doing the political game. Let's put something in front of them that they can't refuse. I think this would be a number that they can't refuse. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I know, again, it's not really a news-related video, more of an opinion-based piece. I like to do these now and then, and really this whole channel is based off of opinions. So make sure you stick around if you enjoy my opinion, or if you like to talk shit on it, please, by all means. I don't care what you do as long as you comment. Let's get the comment section going. Let's build this community up. Speaking of building the community, I've created a Discord server. Well, we've already had the Discord server. It was once the Loudmouth Sports Discord server. I've rebranded it. It's officially the Armchair Analysis Discord server. That link will be in the description for you to go in and join the server. We're going to have, throughout the course of the offseason, we got plenty of discussion pages for all sports, college, NFL, anything like that. You can talk about whatever you want in there, as long as it's respectful. We're going to build a respectful community, but a fun community. During the college football season, we are going to have game threads. So if there's a top 5 matchup, a top 25 matchup, or just a matchup that we want to highlight over the week, we're going to create a game thread for it and allow you guys to comment down below and discuss throughout the game at your convenience. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it. There are rules in place. We've got a bunch of mods who I think are going to do a great job with it. I'm very excited to carry this Discord server and community. So hopefully we can continue to build this thing and keep doing things right. Make sure you follow me on social media if you haven't already. We've got a lot of content coming your way over the next couple of days, and really over the coming weeks. We're leading up to preview season. And if you're new around here, preview season is where I cover 68 teams in 68 days. It's all previews. I preview every Power 4 team season with a win-loss prediction, my ceiling, my floor, everything that we know about their roster to this point. We go as in-depth as anybody will ever go into a season going forward. I'm very excited about it. All the research comes from me, myself, and I don't have a team. I don't talk to anybody on outside sources. It is me going through, researching these teams, and putting together opinions, schedules, graphics, all that stuff to then go forward. It's a one-man operation here for the most part. Now, there is a one woman behind the operation as well who's going to be super helpful to the social media side, and but beyond that, it is just me, and so it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. It helps me get ready for the season, helps me know what I'm looking for in the season, and I feel like it's helped me be a lot better as not only a bettor for those who might be interested in the betting side of things and know that we do a Take 10 every week where I pick my 10 favorite lines and we put them up against up against Vegas and see if we can come out in a positive set there. So make sure you stick around. We got plenty of content coming your way. We're trying to build everything here at Armchair Analysis, and hopefully we can continue to do that in a really fun and positive way. So I thank y'all so much. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll be back tomorrow. I don't know exactly what the content's going to be tomorrow. I have no idea. We may do a recruiting update, just kind of talk about some of the big storylines. We've seen a few 5-star commitments recently that maybe we want to get into. I don't quite know. I'm going to put it together later today and see what happens. But with all that said, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And we'll see you tomorrow with another episode of Armchair Analysis.